My name is Ron Muriera. As Danielle had mentioned, I'm the Director of Arts Industry Support in the Office of Economic Development and Cultural Affairs. Our division is the Office of Cultural Affairs. And want to start off, we traditionally have started now, not just our Arts Commission meeting, but any public meeting that the Office of Cultural Affairs hosts and sponsors with a land acknowledgement. So I would like to begin before we do this informational session with this land acknowledgement. Our anti-racist journey begins with the acknowledgement that we, as settlers and displaced people, reside on the unceded sacred land of Native American people. We are aware that the U.S. began with the conquest and genocide of indigenous people and grew its wealth from enslaved Africans' forced labor. We in San Jose offer our land acknowledgement to the ancestors and descendants of this land who are now members of reorganized tribes and groups, including the Tamian tribe, Muwekma Ohlone tribe, confederated villages of Lishan, Himre'en of Ohlone, Bay Miwok, Plains Miwok, Amamutsun tribal band, and Indian Canyon Nation. They've inhabited and stewarded the unceded lands of the San Francisco Bay Area for thousands of years. We have much to learn from Indigenous people, including the deep cultural and spiritual respect they demonstrate for our natural world. Wherever you are, we can all pause to acknowledge the Native people whose land we are on. Remember that the next step after acknowledging these communities is to learn more, particularly about how you can support them directly. May we learn to walk in a humble and honorable way by acknowledging Indigenous knowledge systems that lead to more sustainable and relational futures. Remember that the next step after acknowledging these communities is to learn more, particularly how you can support them directly. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. And if you're not familiar with the City of San Jose's Office of Cultural Affairs, we have our mission up on screen right now. And the Office of Cultural Affairs, or OCA, as we like to call it, is a champion of San Jose's artistic and cultural vibrancy, resources, and vision. And as the city's lead agency for supporting the development of rich arts and cultural environments in the city's over 1 million residents and its many visitors, we find that the arts and culture are essential elements in the character and quality of life here in the vibrant San Jose community. So as the largest city in Northern California and the capital of Silicon Valley, we know that San Jose is a hub of a wide array of arts and cultural opportunities, and that also includes our individual creatives, artists, and cultural bearers and makers. We know that arts and culture in San Jose connects people and provides a rich opportunity for participation and fosters creativity in all its various ways. So again, thank you so much for joining us for the Creative Ambassador and Formational session. I'm going to turn it back over to Danielle Simbieda, who leads this Creative Ambassador program, as well as a whole host of creative and artistic initiatives and campaigns. Just want to give kudos to the great work that Danielle does on a regular basis, working with our creatives and artists and cultural bearers. So thank you again, Danielle, for all the work that you do for us and the city.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate that. So just to cover what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk a little bit of overview of the Creative Ambassador program. We'll discuss eligibility, scope of work. I'll share some examples of creative expression projects, and we'll talk about the review criteria for your application. We'll go look at the application itself, and we'll talk about timeline, and then we'll open it up for questions. Please feel free to put the questions into the question box as we're giving the presentation so that you can remember them as we go along. But I'll do my best to go through this presentation quickly so that you can then ask any questions that aren't addressed at the end. So what is the Creative Ambassador program? So the role of the Creative Ambassadors is to champion the power of creative expression and engage residents in finding their own creative voice Ambassadors serve a 1-year term during which they produce a creative project that invites active participation from residents and celebrates the diversity of San Jose and San Jose's cultural communities. So these are community-based projects. They are artists and artist collectives that are doing work in the community that's connecting with a community that they defined or with the broader San Jose in general. But they're really a wide range of disciplines and a wide range of projects that come together. But the creative ambassadors we see also as representatives of San Jose, and it is a really good opportunity to show how arts and culture and creativity are embedded within the city, and that draws quite a bit of attention to the projects that the artists do and really represents the city overall. So there's a lot of engagement within this particular program. And this is, now I think we started in 2019 and we're looking at programming this for the 2024 year. So who is eligible to apply to be a creative ambassador? You must live or work in San Jose. So what does that mean? You have to have shown some sort of evidence that you've been working and living in San Jose. This starts with an address. So if you don't have an address either from your employer or from your home, that will raise a flag in terms of where you're at. We do want to look at to see that you've been in San Jose for a few years, and an average around 3 years. We'll be taking a look at how long people have lived in the city or worked in the city. So that's the first thing we start at in terms of looking at eligibility. You have to be a practicing artist. So that is really broad. Art is a very broad language. So it could be performing, visual, literary, media arts, you name it. You have an artistic and creative practice that you do as a professional. We also understand that people do have lots of different jobs, but one of your professional roles needs to be as an artist. And then you have to be willing to be able to be available throughout the month, or not just the month, the whole year of 2024. I will say that, like, we do say January 1st through December 31st, we don't expect there to be 365 days of activity and events but it does something that broadens the range rather than 1 month, that we do see it kind of expanded through different months of the year. We can talk a little bit more in detail on that in a little bit. And applicants must be in good standing with respect to prior grants from the city of San Jose. So if you have received grants from us before, whether you've received an Abierto grant or something through the Office of Cultural Affairs or another department, you just have to make sure that your information is in correct order in order to make sure that you can actually we can make sure that you're still in good standing there. Okay. Who is not eligible? Full-time students. If you are taking a class or two, everybody is always learning and continuing to learn. We're okay with that. Part-time or semi-part-time students, we're always like life learners. We're not gonna look against that. But if you are working towards your degree and this is what you do all full-time, that's something that would not make you eligible. If you have been previously a creative ambassador, that's also will not qualify. You can't be a City of San Jose staff or an arts commissioner. And then if your application is incomplete, and I really stress this, definitely we'll get to the application phase. We want to talk about filling that whole thing out. And if you don't answer any of those questions, it will automatically trigger it to go into the disqualification or ineligible category. So fill that out. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. And then but those overall, that's the area of ineligibility. Scope of work. So what will you be doing throughout the year? So a lot of it is like promoting creative expression in everyday life. So having a social media presence, and on that social media presence, tagging us, SJ Culture. We use the hashtag 408 creates, and we create 408 depending on the time of year. We want to really just drive in to build public will for the arts. We want to really put that message out there. We do have a program called We Create 408. It's a campaign to build public will for the arts. That's moving from a month long challenge that will soon be going into something that'll be year round. So that's something that you would be participating in. There'll be media interviews, and some of those are really fun. It's one of the ones that's really popular is that the creative ambassadors receive profiles in Content Magazine. I really encourage you to go look at this month's issue. It shows all 4 of our creative ambassadors for this year. And then you'll be acting as a representative of cultural expression at local events and meetings, engaging with residents. So we do invite you often to different events. Like, for example, this year we have creative ambassadors participating in our CODA Summit, which is around art and technology in place. There are other events that you may be encouraged to go to or invited to go to, not necessarily mandatory, but like we have our city dance program. We have a lot of our creative ambassadors present and do workshops at that. Just a really good opportunity to engage with the public and through some of the events that we produce or some of our partners produce. And then the big one is to create and produce a hands-on creative project in San Jose that engages the public in creative expression. We're going to go into that a little bit more in depth, and then attend quarterly creative ambassador meetings. We usually have around 2 of those in person and 2 of those virtual, just to make it a little fair, but it's really building that cohort, that network, really starting to connect with one another, learn from one another. There are other opportunities that go along with that as well. Like we do share a lot of invitations to different professional development workshops, and then meet one-on-one with me, that the cultural affairs staff. Really my one-on-one meetings are just to help you get on track, or to really be a mentor, help connect you with people who you want to connect with. Really customize how you want to approach this and within the frequency that needs to happen. Or, a lot of times we will start doing frequent meetings and then lessen those throughout the year. And then you receive $9,500 as a stipend for the year. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. And this program is also sponsored, by the way, with the support from the National Endowment for the Arts, along with the city of San Jose. So I want to share just a couple examples of the creative expression projects, because these are really important in terms of how you want to think about in your application. It is a competitive process. We've had anywhere between 20 and 30 applications come in. This year we have 5 spots, or this coming year we have 5 spots. So this is an example of Suhita Shirodkar, who created a project called Drawing to Discover, where she's worked with local neighborhood leaders, and those leaders share the story of the neighborhood's history. She hands sketchbooks out to everybody and sketching tools, including watercolors, and people stop, look around, sketch. They learn how to sketch as well. People who have no drawing experience are highly encouraged to participate and come. And it's a really good opportunity to look at the history of San Jose in a very unique and different way. Another one is Together We Create. This is a collective, an art collective that does primarily murals, live painting murals, and they've done several events throughout the year. And in some of these, they've really expanded this to include other partners. Partnerships are really a big part of this. So you'll see Together We Create worked with an organization called the Community Peace Project, and another group called the Leviathan, which does they do a live dancing and competitions. And so they had a skateboarding competition, a dance competition, and they did live mural painting at one of the community centers, and they used some of the money to pay the artists, and then they also had prizes. So they really had this opportunity for letting people really kind of connect and engage in really interesting and different ways, whether it be dance and skate and music and DJs. They had, food there and stuff. And there was this a very well attended event. So this is something that they put together with other organizations, and they engaged youth, they engaged community members, they engaged other partners, and really was contributed to the success of their project. Another good example is Ricardo Cortez. He's also known as Tijuana Rick. So I'm going to play this in a snapshot of his 4-way Create project, but then I'm going to talk a little bit about what ends up happening to some of these projects afterwards, which is also kind of interesting. So I'm going to mute this while it's going through this, but basically what he has done is he's taken lowrider culture and new media art, looking at Arduinos and the maker technology, a lot of like history of non-June Pike, and listening to sound and reaction, and working with youth to teach them the story of lowrider culture in San Jose, and to create their own responsive boom boxes that respond with light. That is oh, there's no sound in the video. Okay, sorry. That is something that was pretty interesting to see happen. And since he's created this 408 art project, this has then developed into other things. The PBS News came out, did a story when we lifted the cruising ban last year, featured Ricardo Cortez. He's also been really developed himself as a community leader. And then the Visit California campaign has also chosen him, being a creative ambassador from San Jose, to be a creative ambassador for the state of California with this project. And he's continued to develop other projects that have moved on from this. So this was a very highly successful project that started out with about several workshops. I would say somewhere between 6 and 10 workshops, and in an exhibition, which was a really cool project. Cynthia Cow also did one, and I'll just talk over this a little bit. This is called Taste of Home. This was done with Chopsticks Alley and San Jose State University, and it was looking at food insecurity and where people get their foods from. And there was like on San Jose State campus, they had a food pantry, and it was also kind of talking about how people access that food and what they get from that, and then creating all these different artworks based off of that and all these different recipes. This is now going to be seen soon at the new Chopsticks Alley exhibition. The video of it is, but this was done in a workshop with San Jose State University, multiple departments involved in that, along with Chopsticks Alley and other community partners. It brought in printmaking and created a book, a video, lots of different opportunities for people to engage and talk about food and food sourcing, where that comes from. And it was a really beautiful and powerful project that continues on in certain ways to this day. But I just want to also just say that some of these projects will continue on even after this year, depending on how you want to approach what you want to do with the work. So I want to talk about how are some of these applications going to be reviewed, and when you work towards this, think about the panelists who will review it. I don't have all the panelists signed on yet, but typically it's a mixture of an arts commissioner, some previous creative ambassadors, and some people from the community. And we are using a new review process this year on Slide Room. We'll talk about that when we talk about the application. But your artistic record, so you want to talk about things that include samples of your work, your history of presenting in a public setting, your professional achievement, how have you engaged with the community? These are community-based projects. So that's a pretty important factor. So include demonstrated initiatives, launching and coordinating creative projects. How have you involved the community responding to cultural diversity in San Jose? What is your communication experience? So do you have a presence online? Are you comfortable speaking in front of an audience? Can you write? You don't have to do all of those things. I'm not saying that you have to do be an excellent writer and an excellent public speaker and a big social media person, but like you have to show that there's something in there that you can say, yeah, I can communicate my ideas out there, and I'm going to be able to do that with the public. Your professionalism, how you will be representing the city of San Jose. We want to make sure that you feel comfortable doing that and honor diverse views and backgrounds of the community. And then the creative expression project. So that's really an understanding of the community, targeted cultural communities or the broader community, innovation of your proposed project, the depth of community engagement, and how people have that opportunity to participate. Notice that I also show percentages next to these. This is when the panelists will review, they will look at these in terms of how much they are weighed. So the creative expression project is a really important piece of this. And we do look for a mix of artists who are very well into the career, in the middle of the career, and also emerging. So it's not that everyone who participates in the program will be at the top of their game in their artistic career. We do try to create a cohort that's a good blend and a good mix. So I do encourage you to sort of think through that a little bit when you're okay, yeah, sorry. Can people hear me? I just want to check in. I just think it looked like there were some people. Yeah, there's no, okay, so yeah, you can hear me. Okay, so there was no sound in the video. I'm sorry about the video.
Most people can hear you, Danielle. I think it was
Okay,
the video that
right.
didn't have any sound.
Yeah, sorry about the video. I think that had to do with a little bit with the Zoom, but I'll share out those in a little bit. So we'll talk about some of these questions that I see are actually pretty relevant ones. We'll talk about those in the Q&A in a moment. But this review criteria, I want you to put that in front, because that is going to be really important when it comes to thinking about how you want to respond to some of these questions and making sure, have I answered this in a way that shows that I have shown my professionalism, that I can communicate. This is really what the reviewers are going to be looking at and how they'll be scoring. And then when it all comes together at the end, that's going to be a lot of where it's weighted. So if you have try to feel a little balanced in each of these areas. So the application, so we're working on making applications easier to use, better user interfaces, and more inclusive. So this year we're working on a new platform called Slide Room, and the website for that is sjculture.slideroom.com. You can also link to that from our guidelines page as well. And I am going to try to switch over to the Slide Room page. Give me 1 second. I do want to show you what it what it looks like. I want to get into it a little bit. Okay, I'm coming back here, and then I'm gonna share again. Okay. So when you get into the slide room page, on the front page, there will be some information about the program and a link back to the guidelines. But basically, when you get into the application, there's going to be 4 sections here: applicant information, community connection, creative expression project, and demographic information. So the application information, you'll have, when you sign up, you'll put your name and email and address in there, so that's fine. We will ask, if you live or work in San Jose. We do accept collectives. So if you are a collective of people right now, for example, Together We Create and San Jose Storyboard are 2 collectives, you can say that I'm applying with a collective. And then that's the case, so it will prompt you to say more information about that collective and who's in it, and just basic information, website, social media. We do need your bio. Fiscal sponsor, I'm only kind of going over some of the things that I think we may get some questions on, and then we'll have some other opportunities to go over some basic stuff. I want to talk a little bit about fiscal sponsorships. So you or commons approaches. So with the city, you can apply to this in 2 different ways. A fiscal sponsor would be an organization that would be a 501c3 that would have the ability to have insurance and a business license with the city. So that includes like a lot of organizations, for example, Local Color or SV Creates have common fiscal sponsorship programs where they work with artists and they have a history of working with us and can help manage what is the contract that will go through, that they will sign, and then you would get paid through that fiscal sponsor rather than through the city. And then usually fiscal sponsors will charge a fee for that, and that's negotiable depending on which sponsor you're going with. The other option is if you wanted to apply by yourself, and you can do that, you would have to sign a contract with us. In that case, you would need to go through what a fiscal sponsor would go through, which is to get a business license and certificate of insurance. And we can talk a little bit about that later on, but that's the big difference. So if you're not comfortable going in that direction of taking on the insurance work and the business license yourself, definitely talk to fiscal sponsors and look at them. There's a link in here for different fiscal sponsors. I would start those conversations soon so you can get an idea of what that will look like. And if you're not sure yet, that's okay as well. We can come back to that if you were getting into that final group. And then if you're partnering with local organizations, so you can partner with multiple organizations, but we will want to verify that the partners understand your project and are on board before you would start, to make sure that everybody is cohesive. And this usually is done if you're in the final group in the interview process when we're checking in all of that. Okay. So just sharing that information with you, the community connection. This is where you're going to answer a lot of those questions. So one of the things that we've put into this application process is you can answer the application in a couple different ways. So say that you're just not somebody who loves to write. That's just not you can share about what you can do with this area, but writing is not your forte, but you're comfortable saying it either in audio or video. You can actually respond with an audio or video by uploading a file. Okay. And when you do that, we'll ask you to upload a file and that or link to something that will allow us to hear your response. And when you do that process, the reviewers will listen to us. Well, please don't put any extra stuff in there. So don't put in any music or visuals or anything like that. Just you talking, and that's it. There's only going to be a couple of minutes that the reviewers will be able to listen to. So if you don't have any audio or video, that has extra stuff in it, they'll be able to like listen to that very easily and be able to comprehend your response to that question. So this gives you an opportunity to answer the questions if you're not comfortable answering in text, okay? And that goes through all of these questions over here. And then similarly, when we get to the creative expression project, you can also answer this with audio or video. And then and we will listen to that as well. And this is a little bit more descriptive, so there's a little bit more time allotted on this. And we're not going to like, you know, look at like cut it right off at 3 minutes, for example. If it's 3 minutes and 40 seconds, it's fine. It's just try to be as succinct as possible. But we will not ask the reviewers to listen to any more than what is recommended. It's just because we'll have a lot of these applications to go through, and they want to be able to be respectful of everybody's application and time. But we do want to make it possible for people who are not as comfortable with written word to be able to respond in that. And then a budget. Okay, I want to express this is really important because what it tells us, it's a narrative. It tells us like, you know, this, you've thought about how much this is going to cost you, and maybe the whole project itself is more than the $9,500 that we can provide. You can put things in there that are in kind, maybe that you're able to borrow equipment or have a space. And you think about the value of what in kind means, like when people are giving time or space or equipment or services, and you're totally welcome to look for other funding. So if you are looking for other programs out there through our city, through SV Creates or someone else, CCI, anywhere else, you can put that in there in terms of additional budget information. So let's just say that you have applied for grants and you just want to say, okay, I am applying for all this other funding. It lets us know that you're thinking about this, and the budget for us is just really like, it's just part of telling the story. It's not necessarily like, we're not going to look at this budget and at the end of your project look at it and say, hey, well, you didn't spend this on this. It's more about like, I want you to share that you've thought a little bit about it, the outcome of that. We do anticipate will change over the year as things become real and you realize you need to put some money into different areas. So that's where that budget line item has. And we also ask you that you add some more for information like upload your resume and some work samples. And so that could be projects, and could be different things that you've worked on collaboratively or by yourself. Just share that in the description. So when the reviewers are looking at it, that's going to give us an understanding of that, how much experience you have working with community or as an artist of sorts. And the demographic information is totally optional. However, it's really helpful for us to know how we are reaching out to the community and who we're reaching out to. It gives us a good opportunity to really assess and understand where some of this information is reaching out to. But the reviewers, the panelists do not see this information. And again, it is optional. So this is just the basics of the information. When you go into the beginning of the form, it does give you the option to preview all of the questions, so you can download those. I really strongly suggest starting it all in a Word doc and then working on it from there prior to submitting it. The slide room staff is available basically during the week. They're on the East Coast. So I think they're available till like 6 p.m. on the East Coast, which is 3 p.m. Pacific. So while the application isn't due until Friday late night on the 6th, put in your calendars that it's due the day before, a couple days before, just so that you can get any technical issues that you may have out of the way. So I'm gonna go back into the other part of the presentation, and then I'm gonna take in some of the questions. Let me see, go back to Okay. Is in full screen. Okay. So we talked about the application timeline. So I set up some office hours. This is pretty new, so I will share this out with you as well. That not the week of that this is due, but the week before. So the week of September 25th through 28th. I'll reserve noon time throughout the whole week to let you drop in, answer any questions. I'm also available by email if you have any questions about the application. And then it's due on the 6th, which is a Friday, close to midnight. But please try to put it in before then, because I will not be able to answer any technical questions on at 11 p.m. on Friday night, and neither will the slide room staff. So I really recommend you putting in your calendar even like a week before, just in case any of that comes through. The selection process is in October. And then we announce the Arts Commission has to confirm and vote on the selection, and that comes in November. And then the public announcement for that will come in early December. And then the term starts in January, but in reality, like you would probably meet as a cohort closer to either the very end of January or very beginning of February. Everything, all the contract stuff will happen in December, but a lot of people are still traveling at the beginning of January. So I noticed that like people aren't really quite ready to start as a cohort until like the end of January, beginning of February. And December, it's not like throughout the very end of December. So there's a final report, which is an easy report, and that is due on like the first Friday of December. So for the most part, I would say most of the projects that I have seen get completed usually start somewhere between February and end somewhere between February and October. That does vary and depending on the project and your project scope, because you may have an event that you want on a different day, and there's flexibility there. And it's not assuming that you're going to be doing this every single day, but it is like there is a consistency, because there is consistency in both meeting with me. Then you have to have at least 5 community events. And then, and that does not mean like you have to have big events. It just means to have interactions. And then there's the cohort meetings, and those all vary at different times. And so there'll be times where things are very light, and we will work with you on what you need to do. So it's not like a super heavily set schedule, but I don't want you to think that also that's not like literally January 1st, you start this, and December 31st, you end it. This is sort of the duration of the year. We're looking closer to like end of January, beginning of December in terms of the timeline. And I also wanted to share with you, here's a link up here to sign up for office hours. I've also, tomorrow when I have this all up and on the website, the recording, you can also have it in there. I'll share the link to sign up for those office hours. And you can also just contact me. These are just some also pictures of the content profiles. So that is the bulk of what I want to share. And I'm going to go right back into the questions, and we'll maybe go back into some of the slides, because I think there were some questions that needed answers too. So I'm going to come back up here. Okay, annual festivals. So that's a good question. We have a really good grant for festivals called the Festivals, Parades, and Celebration Grant. That one is due towards the beginning of the year. In some ways, I feel like those were like a little bit better, but some of these Creative Ambassador program projects have a festival of sort, like they have they connect to festivals. But because you want to show that you're building community throughout the year, if that ends up in a festival, that could be like an opportunity, but it can't be that like there's only one engagement opportunity, and that becomes the festival. So if there was like, let's just say, some listening workshops, some connections to other festivals or ways that you're building in that network, really kind of like showing that you're out there and communicating creativity in that way. And then the manifestation of that shows up in a festival, that could be possible. Is community yoga considered an eligible art? It could be convinced. It could be like, you might want to like yoga could be an art. I think when you want to think about that as the yoga and maybe there's an aspect of it, like how does that engage with community? What aspect of are you like thinking about this as more of a social practice project, and maybe yoga is the tool and that's part of that practice in terms of like looking at the outcome of that. So I think there needs to be a little bit more context to how you want to approach that. Two separate, and can you apply for two separate separate projects? Ron, I might want to ask you that one. I don't think we set up the application to where you can put into community engagement projects.
Right. That's correct. The focus is on one project. As a creative ambassador, it is, expanding bandwidth. So to do projects, two projects, multiple projects would, I think, be a challenge for the creative ambassador. So in recent years, it's been just one proposed project that each creative ambassador has proposed.
Well, I think the question is, could you propose two projects, but if and only one gets selected? So.
Well, I think for this particular program, you want to put all your effort into one project, do the best you can, because the panelists will, as someone who's been on various grant panels, somebody saying, here's two projects, what do you think is the best one? That's not an onus you want to put on the panel. You want to select what you feel is going to be the best engagement project as a creative ambassador and put that forward with enough information, work samples to justify why that should be a competitive application.
Correct. Yeah. So I think really because it is a bit of work to put in one. I wouldn't like recommend putting in two. Yeah, think about which one can answer those questions the best. That's the one I would go for. And can you apply as an LLC? Yes. So when I mentioned that there are you have the opportunity to use a fiscal sponsor or to do it as your own. Some ambassadors will set up an LLC or another type of corporation so that they can do that, because you do need to have apply with the city contract, which it may sound a little bit intimidating at first, but really, I'll work with you, get you through it. We do have like these like standard insurance requirements that if you're not comfortable walking in that world, that's where I would recommend a fiscal sponsor. But yeah, you can use an LLC and a business license, and there's an exemption for the business license as well. So like if you don't want to pay, if you can't afford the business license fee, then you can ask for that exemption, but you still have to technically put in that application. And then it does not get weighed differently if you submit an audio or video. And we're going to work with our panelists on making sure equity is centered and that we that they understand that submitting audio or video is equal to submitting text. We just want to make sure that we don't prohibit the opportunity for creative artists to apply because of the intimidation that a written application may be. But then there are many artists also who may feel more comfortable in the written word. So we want to provide those opportunities. Okay, so if you don't want to use a fiscal sponsor, will the city help and assist the creative ambassador to obtain a business license? So on the business license website, and I'll try to link this when I update the website in a couple of days. On the business license website, there's a link that says apply for an exemption. So it's a very, very fast and quick form. That's the easiest part, is the business license. I would say that insurance is probably the heavier one, because we require liability and a certificate of insurance, and on unowned and operated auto insurance, which is not the same as personal auto insurance. So that's where it can come in a lot, but we can share some resources with you where we direct people to. We work with artists quite often, and we have a whole sheet on how to go about doing all of that. I applying more than once. I don't think we have something written that says you can't apply more than once. I just don't know if we recommend it. That's a good question though. I know, Ron, can an artist apply more than once?
I think it's similar to some of our other grant programs. I think we want to provide an opportunity for all artists. So submission of one proposed Creative Ambassador application is highly encouraged. I just think that panelists would look at if there's somebody who submitted twice, why they would submit twice, two applications. But based on our experience thus far with these cycles, we highly encourage creative ambassador applicants to submit one application. Because it is a very competitive, more and more artists, cultural makers, creatives are finding out about this Creative Ambassador program through the Office of Cultural Affairs. So it's becoming very competitive. So I think it allows, again, a greater opportunity for more artists in San Jose, as well as, cultural makers and creatives to be able to apply to this opportunity.
Yeah. In terms of the fiscal sponsor, if you have a relationship already with a fiscal sponsor and they're not located in San Jose, that's fine, as long as you have a foot in San Jose. Like if you are, you either live or work in San Jose, that's okay. And like if the fiscal, Haley, are you asking if the fiscal sponsor is in Gilroy or Santa Clara County? Oh yeah, they can be in Santa Clara County. It's more upon you, because the fiscal sponsor ultimately that's the organization signing on the contract technically, but they still will have to have like what we require, like the business license and the insurance. But we can work with them on that. So does anyone have any more questions? Like, let's see, I want to make sure I got everyone's in here.
I think, did you see Robert's question about if someone doesn't want to use a fiscal sponsor?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
We got that.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, so, my recommendation is make sure you fill out every question, because you don't want your application to be voided, for sure. Definitely start in a Word document for sure. And like, just so you can look at it and you can have other eyes on it. I am totally happy to talk and meet with anybody ahead of time. Just so you also know just like how the year works. I mean, it is working with me specifically quite often, and you will meet with me. We do spread out the payments throughout the year. There's 3 payments when you do receive the award. There's a smaller payment towards the beginning, the larger payment towards the middle, and oftentimes we notice that a lot of the projects really happen somewhere towards like the end of May to the fall. So that's where we try to make sure people have the bulk in there, and then like a final payment at the end when your report is in. But we do look at the creative ambassadors as artists that we can work with ongoing. We often bring them in for additional work and projects for years after. It's a really good opportunity to connect with the leadership in San Jose. But also when we like to continue to support the artists that we are working with and the projects and programs that they run. And what we've noticed is that other organizations and companies pick them up also and continue to work with them. And so I do encourage you to look at some of the previous projects. I don't have the earlier years online, but definitely look at this year's Content magazine and look at Content magazine's Vimeo page. We also, I think even on our website, we have like a reel of all the videos, but it gives you an opportunity to kind of see what some of the projects are doing and just get a sense of what people are out there working on. So, and then can the budget be used to purchase tools to enhance your project, like a logo or equipment? Yeah, I mean, if that is part of like your yes, like if this is helps you realize your project, then yeah, you can do that. And what people have done, they've used it for lots of different things. Some have used it for equipment, some have used it for design help. Some have used it to pay other artists. We have seen a lot of projects hire other artists to do work on their in collaboration. So that's another opportunity for that as well. And you want to be able to also pay yourself. So like, don't feel like you can't pay yourself in this budget as well. Like if you're like thinking about the amount of work that goes into it. And we realize that like these projects can continue on afterwards. And we encourage you to do that in different ways. So yeah, that can still happen. All right, anything else? Well, all right, I know that we have everything on webinar format, but that's so we can record this and put this live online. I really appreciate all of you taking the time today, and we will be putting this online soon. And I look forward to seeing your applications in a few weeks. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out. You have my contact information there. And yeah, happy to make this program happen again next year. Thank you all very much. And have a great Wednesday. You stop recording. Hold on.